Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. In what should have been one of the most popular news stories that we've gotten in a while, this absolutely barely made any headlines at all. Fidelity Investments, a leading American-based investment firm, is poised to launch something called Fidelity Crypto, a dedicated investment platform catering to cryptocurrencies. You heard that correctly. The new offering will be spearheaded by Fidelity Digital Asset, the firm's specialized arm for managing digital assets. Very smart. You might have remembered, or if you've been here the last couple of weeks, I've reiterated the same thing over and over. 1. This is the year when governments and corporations and banks and whatever are trying to launch their own central bank digital currencies. We've heard this so many other times before. This is the year that it's going to happen. 2. I told you over and over before, something felt a little weird about this year. We've heard constantly from regulators around the world and from many different weird central banks that cryptocurrencies are evil, cryptocurrencies are terrible. I thought it very odd that after the last 14 years of cryptocurrencies being around, the SEC this year has gone on the warpath, and they're trying to find every single cryptocurrency company that's done something wrong, and you've done this, and this is unregistered with this, and you have to pay $30 million for this, and they're launching lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. I told you the reason why this was happening is because the larger players don't want anyone else to have a slice of the pie. You may live under the illusion that rich people care about you, or that rich people are here to help, or rich people may make things better. And I mean, as far as the people who basically run the world, that's not how it works. We had indications from a number of large companies many years ago that they were trying to enter the cryptocurrency space. Part of the problem was, and still is that it is basically ruled, and I use that term lightly, by Binance, Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, and any of the other slew of other crypto exchanges that are around the world. When you as Fidelity, and I've said Fidelity to you multiple times in the last couple of months, it was obvious that something like this was going to launch. When it's between Fidelity and BlackRock, who announced that they were in the cryptocurrency space, that they believed that crypto was the next step in financial everything around the world. People talking about this is going to be a $100 trillion market in the next 10 years. You as a gigantic rich villain sitting in a castle with a hairless cat that you're stroking, you don't want anyone else to have a slice of the pie except for you. People can have crumbs. Sure, take all the crumbs you want that have fallen through the wood on the table onto the floor. But as far as the entire slice of the pie, didn't it seem a little weird where Binance kept on getting in trouble for everything? Coinbase just got in trouble. Gary Gensler was like, this is wrong, and that's terrible, and that's bad. When I say that I believe, I do not know, this cannot be substantiated. Whenever I say that I believe that there's money being passed across a table in a briefcase, it's because of things like this. Wouldn't it have made a lot of sense after the 2017/18 collapse in cryptocurrency prices? Wouldn't you have given cryptocurrency regulations then? What's with this gigantic, we need to give regulations right now to make sure that everyone is on the same exact page? Only when the big players are entering the game officially. So I've assumed for a while, now hear me out here, even the collapse of FTX, something didn't seem right about it because, they're all doing the exact same thing. Yeah, right, that part. So anyway, continuing on, Peter Brandt, that is Brandt, an experienced analyst, drew attention to this development today, emphasizing its significance in advancing the mainstream adoption of cryptocurrencies. This is probably going to be it. When you talk about and I mean, crypto is mainstream. You can ask anyone, what's Bitcoin? They might not know what Ether is. They maybe have heard of it, depending on how deep they are into the space. Ask anybody what blockchain is. They've heard of it. Everyone knows what crypto is. Mainstream. Mainstream is using it every single day, owning some, investing in it being on the stock market, all these other things. When Fidelity launches this, and subsequently at some point this year, I can't tell you when, but it's abundantly obvious that BlackRock is also going to open their own version of this thing that we're currently talking about. It is going to launch cryptocurrency so far into the mainstream that it's going to shock a lot of people within crypto. I think we've all gotten used to being in this kind of fringe space. So we know that crypto's big. We know that NFTs are still popular for those of you who missed that. But a lot of times I see people on Twitter basically saying like, oh boy, can't wait to mainstream adoption. Oh boy, look how early we are. And it's like, yes, we are early comparatively to the year 2050, where everyone's supposed to be using the chip that's in their hands or their glasses or their eyes to make payments or whatever the future is supposed to hold for us. But we also forget that like the rich people who want to make more money, they're already in the space. What we're missing now, and here's the kicker. Here's the part that most people don't get. We're missing around 7 billion people. And I know that sounds like, whoa, that's a lot. It is. It's a lot of people. 7 billion people. But these are the people who don't have money or don't have a lot of money. The purpose of Fidelity, JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock, all these other investment and hedge funds, they're buying up tons of cryptocurrencies. They have their hands in every single crypto mining project. But the thing that will really get this going is when you get the other 7 billion people into the space. All you need is a smartphone. You get into this space, you start making money, you got all these other things. That's what propels us forward, and that's the point of all these major companies now entering the space. This also coincides with the adoption of cryptocurrencies and Fidelity launching something like this, why we would hear that all the governments are desperately trying to digitize their currencies, because they know exactly what's coming. They know that the big companies are now announcing and launching all of their projects. So you as a government have to do the exact same thing to basically stay ahead of the entirety of the game. Here's the tweet for it right here from Peter Brandt. It says, mass adoption moves to another level, BTC. Fidelity Crypto is coming soon. It says, welcome to Decode Crypto, where we provide clarity on how crypto works. No complicated jargon, no confusing essays, just simple explanations to build your crypto knowledge. And it has a whole bunch of stuff. Did you know? Deep dive, crypto versus cash. Brandt shared a snapshot that included information from Fidelity indicating that the investment firm has plans to launch the platform shortly. Additionally, Fidelity introduced Crypto Decode, an initiative to simplify the concept of cryptocurrencies for those who are unfamiliar with it. This was part of the success of Coinbase. A lot of people, if you ever had an original cryptocurrency wallet, it was like taking a stone with a stick and trying to make fire. It was so complicated. You had to like not code stuff yourself, but it just looked so ridiculous. And you had to enter everything and send this, and you had to download the entirety of the blockchain or the continuation of the blockchain every time you opened it up. And Coinbase basically took away all that, stripped it down, and made it as simple as possible. And that's why they had that other initiative where they were, and I think they might still have this, I don't even know, where they were like paying people to basically learn about crypto. Every time you clicked on something or learned about a coin, you got a couple of dollars, and that gets people into it. If you send someone to your website, sign up, register here, answer these 50 questions, and every question that you answer, you get $2 for it. And by the end of it, you made $100 in crypto. You see that the price of crypto goes up. You have $135. You go, I wish I had put in more before. So what happens? You put in $100. It goes up to 270. You're like, whoa, this market is great. You're hooked. You're in the market. That's exactly how you get people into it. Furthermore, the investment fund underscores the recent surge in crypto adoption, highlighting the increasing attention and engagement from various entities, including federal governments. The United States, for example, has been actively exploring the viability of inducing, there we go, a central bank digital currency. Fidelity has outlined that the main objective of Fidelity Crypto's platform is to provide, and he air quotes, to provide investors with exposure to cryptocurrencies, enabling them to invest in their preferred digital assets for as little as $1. And that, my friend, is how you end the game. That's how you make sure that everyone uses your platform. When you give people the choice to be able to invest in something and put in now, and I say this lightly, $1, at least to Western standards, is accessible to everyone. You can be broke and still have $1, according to how people usually measure brokenness, at least in North America. When you tell people you can put $1 in, people will put in 5. They'll put in 15, they'll put in 25. It's a whole psychological thing behind it. This is going to, now you've noticed the amount of people, maybe even you, rewatching, getting back into crypto, getting back into this channel, trying to learn more, trying to hear more news, putting stuff back into NFTs, into other markets and yada yada. I've seen across all of my friends and my investing friends, everyone has jumped back into crypto. Everyone's buying small amounts of crypto. Everyone's buying an NFT a day. Everyone's testing out the waters. The moment that prices begin to really rise, we get to a $35,000 Bitcoin, it's on. Everyone who was already into crypto jumps back into the pool immediately, absorbing as much water that there is in that pool. Prices continue to rise. Fidelity launches this. Everyone begins to fly into crypto. It is very significant. I saw nearly no one talking about this, and I thought it was incredibly weird. We get news about Binance opening an office in Ireland. We get news that Elon Musk ate a potato chip that looked like a Doge. We get news, what's that woman's name? Kathy Wood. She recently, again, just bought more Coinbase stock. That ends up making the most popular news of the day. Fidelity, one of the largest investment firms on the planet with trillions of dollars in assets, is launching a service very soon through an app that will allow anyone to get into crypto. And as Fidelity is trusted more than other institutions with as little as $1, this is going to go completely ballistic. The platform will be integrated into the Fidelity mobile app and initially only support Bitcoin and Ethereum upon its launch. So, yeah, as always, we get incredibly large news all the time. It never, ever, 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 ever ends up making it into the actual most important news of the day, unless it's something catastrophic. What was that other nonsense from a couple days ago where people sold off their crypto because a bank wasn't doing well and Bitcoin's price fell by 5%? You know that Bitcoin's not a bank, right? You know that bank did not create Bitcoin. That ends up making into the most popular news because everyone panics for no gosh darn reason. But when we hear that these mega companies are buying up all the Bitcoin, no one bats an eye. That's the Fidelity is going to be launching their dedicated crypto platform with only Bitcoin and Ethereum for as little as $1 upon launch news. And you better believe when this launches, it's also going to be in the news. And yeah, let's move on. Also in the news is, it says Ripple's legal battle with the SEC has not slowed down the adoption of their native token ZERP. There are now more than 4.6 million wallets holding XRP. Messari, Messari, a crypto data library, has revealed stats revealing, addresses owning the digital currency. Over the course of almost 2 years, Ripple and the SEC have been locked in a pivotal court battle. No, it's mainly been because of the SEC. Nevertheless, recent events indicate the current debate may be resolved pretty soon. That's the idea. Garlinghouse says He believes that there will be a resolution to the lawsuit before summertime. As the native token approaches the milestone, Ripple versus the SEC is perhaps the most consequential legal battle in the history of the cryptocurrency space. As a result, the dispute may ultimately shape how digital assets are designated in the years to come. Yada, yada, yada. With these legal actions, the number of wallets holding Ripple's native token, XRP, has now reached 4.6 million wallets. Moreover, according to Masari's released statistics, over 38,000 addresses purchased XRP within the last day. Insane. Yeah. I will just re-say this. So, you know how like if you look at a globe, like when you're in school and you're like, whoa, it spins, that's crazy. And you keep seeing other places besides the US, it's because there are other places that exist on the planet besides the US. Not being cheeky, it's just more of a, so much of the news over the last 2 years has been this like really weird confusion as to why people are buying, investing, or have high hopes for XRP because of their legal battle with the SEC. That's only happening within the United States. XRP has gotten legal clarity in every other country where Ripple has tried to go successfully, immediately. There are even some countries that consider XRP to be a currency. It is not to be confused with legal tender, but it is considered a currency in many different countries. So it makes sense that you would have millions of people and millions of wallet addresses holding XRP. So that's just logical news there. Still waiting. Me, myself, can't wait for this lawsuit to be over so we can stop talking about it. Hopefully. Hopefully Ripple wins. Because if that judge gives an incorrect or weird ruling, I think the cryptocurrency community can be quite intense with their responses. That's there are now 4.6 million addresses holding XRP news. Yeah. Let's move on. Also in the news, a draft for the approval of an expansion of crypto trading activities to non-banking members has been published by the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange, or the TASE, for public comments. In a TASE first, a 27th of February announcement stated the proposed structure will enable customers to deposit fiat money designated for investments into digital assets. Non-banking members will act as licensed providers for crypto trading and custodial services should the proposal be approved. Customer funds will be placed in an omnibus account as the intermediary for crypto trading activities. It will also allow clients to withdraw funds, I hope so, originating from the sale of crypto, but the process is somewhat convoluted, because it always is. This has been done to mitigate risks and enhance consumer protection, according to the announcement. I assume it just has to do with some stupid law that they have over there where you got to do this and next has to happen and this has to do and so, and it has to go through multiple clearinghouses as opposed to just giving people back their money. They said this is another step in the advancement and development of the Israeli capital market that aims to encourage innovation and competition while mitigating the risks and protecting the consumers, end quote. Once comments have been submitted, the proposal will be sent for approval by the TASE Board of Directors. However, no time frame was provided, and there's a screen with a whole bunch of clocks on them. So this actually made relatively popular news. Tel Aviv, as far as I've heard, I've never been there. I heard it's a very beautiful and expensive country, which tells me a lot of money is flowing around there, which tells me that many people have probably been contacting the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange and they've been like, hey, where's the crypto? Let us do cryptocurrency stuff. Or, hear me out here, this is probably just another government extension that's trying to make their way into the cryptocurrency space before larger other companies do so. To my knowledge, as long as I've been here, We have never, I'll say never, we've never heard of Coinbase getting a license in Tel Aviv, Binance getting a license in Israel. We've never heard of, I think Ripple has one, actually. I never heard of Gemini having one or Kraken. They may be there. I don't know. But, I'm going after the news that we've seen over the last 7 years. So I would assume that this has to do with the stock exchange probably trying to make their own thing so that everyone else is used to using the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange for their cryptocurrencies before any other exchange actually gets a license. So wonderful. Absolutely logical. We've had news, I think, from every major stock exchange except for the one in London. We know that the New York Stock Exchange is actively trying to integrate crypto or make it also a place where you can not only buy stocks, but also buy cryptocurrencies. The Paris Stock Exchange also said they wanted to do this. The German Stock Exchange, I think in Frankfurt, is also working towards it. What was the other one? There's another really, really big one. Not the one in India, but there's another one. I don't remember. So cool. I hope it works out. I'm a little worried of them asking the public. This is usually a very weird, what do you call it? Like a scapegoat kind of thing where you go, we'll let the public decide. And then you look at the comments that the public is leaving. And it's always like really weird opposition things that no normal person would ever be writing, that someone higher up is simply saying, well, we asked the public and they all said no. Like with the SEC and them asking the public a couple of years ago for public opinion, which looking back at it was just corrupt nonsense. So that's the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. May get cryptocurrency trading on it, I assume sometime this year. Just, why wait 5 years to do this? News. Yeah? Let's move on. Also in the news is the Reserve Bank of Australia, or the RBA, published a report on Wednesday outlining its selected use case proposals of a central bank digital currency alongside their respective providers. What? That's crazy. Why would they be doing that in 2023 whenever other bank is doing the exact same thing? That's wild. This report serves as a follow-up to a collaborative research project with the Digital Finance Cooperative Research Center, or the DFCRC, it's DFCRC, exploring the possible use cases of a central bank digital currency and its benefits to the Australian economy. Very, very little. Launched in September of last year, the Central Bank Digital Currency Research Project involved the submission of a potential central bank digital currency use case by various industrial entities, of which only a few were chosen to participate in the live pilot. According to the report, the RBA stated the project received a large number of use case submissions from a range of industry participants. A range of criteria was considered in selecting the use cases to participate in the pilot, including the potential to provide insights into the possible benefits of a CBDC. So apparently they said the benefits are offline payments, tokenized FX settlements, corporate bond settlements, and construction payments. Okay. In all, 14 use cases were selected, alongside 14 providers ranging from small fintech firms to large financial institutions. And they are MasterCard, the Australian Bond Exchange, Fame Capital, Monova, that is Monoova, Unizon, and ANZ. I don't know what that's supposed to be. So yes, another country has openly admitted, or not openly admitted, they're trying to get this thing launched and rolled out. There's no real, how do I say this? The entire idea of just digitizing your currency isn't anything like revolutionary, because we basically are all using numbers on a screen anyway. The idea of being like, oh, we can settle money and we can do bond settlements, that's crazy. You can already do that. You don't have to really, in air quotes, digitize the currency and or get rid of cash. They're basically trying to mimic a bunch of Nordic countries. If you've never watched a documentary on Sweden or Denmark, they basically have no bank robberies. You know why? Because everything is digital. And a lot of banks see this as of course, it's a win-win, obviously, gotcha, even for the tellers, but it more so has to do with control. You want to stamp out anyone who could potentially ever use physical or paper currency to do anything privately that they may choose to do so in their own lives. And that's kind of always the bottom line of where it really comes from. So, cool. This is going to be a thing. We can't really get around it because that's just kind of the future that we have. The US said that they're trying to launch theirs sometime relatively soon, or they're doing pilots for it right now. There's a lot of discussion around the digital euro, which is going to be a thing. I think it's just like the majorer economies who are all trying to like launch theirs, but other smaller countries are doing it as well. India's also in like active discussions. There was something weird about India like a day or two ago. They announced that like they're trying to work with the I think BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, to work on cryptocurrency regulations, but they want to launch their own central bank digital currency before they have any cryptocurrency regulations within the country. It's like, just stop lying. Just it's so weird. Like, they've been trying to pretend like they didn't know how to give cryptocurrency regulations for a very long time when they've just been stalling for the CBDC. That's the Bank of Australia published a report talking about how, looking for the benefits of a central bank digital currency. Just launch it. We know you want to. We know you already have it. You're going to try and convince the public of it, and nobody's going to want it because it's going to be digital garbage. That's the CBDC ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 news. I don't know why I got all the way up to 12. And yeah, let's move on. Yeah, I do hope that you have all enjoyed this weird video. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Do hope it's absolutely fantastic. You can see all the NFTs running around now. There's so many more. Like, you can see the little icons inside the buses and stuff. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.